What is your American dream?
My American dream is for Trump to be out of office and for we build bridges, not walls.
My American dream is to own my own business and just thrive and be wealthy.
My American dream is the NFL.
My American dream is to get a brand new president.
My American dream is that we collectively recognize each other as human beings and that we don't pass judgments based upon color, but we pass judgment based upon accomplishments.
My American dream is to be lucrative in my business, and then also I want to be able to give to different ministries, different causes, people who are in need to help them come out. If I manage to do that, I live my life.
I want to be the best soccer player in the world.
My American dream is to become a game designer because I'm really good with computers.
My American dream. Well, there's a lot going on right now, especially with the kids who are being separated from their families. So, I mean, the ultimate American dream for me would be to get all these families back together. It's really important. I mean, I couldn't imagine just being so young and separated from my family.
My American dream, I want to be a baseball player.
My American dream is just, I want to live in a world where we can all collectively live as a community and together and be able to thrive and impoverish without racism and hatred and, just a non-judgmental world that we can all live in.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome, it is November 5th, 2019. I am with none other than Yonathan, Yo-Yo Elias. How are you?
I am amazing. I look tan.
But what do you mean you look tan?
I don't know.
It's just the way the light is hitting you today.
But cocoa buttery brown.
Yes.
I like that.
Well, I think your mom's going to be very excited. You told me your mom watches.
My mom does watch.
I did not know that your mom watches.
She does.
Yeah.
Here and there.
My father watched for the first time.
We've officially made it.
Yeah,
now,
I walked into the production room. I spoke to my father earlier. So he says, I caught your show. I said, you did? He goes, yeah, I thought it was really interesting. You watching, answering all those immigration questions. And then you're funny when you're like, oh, I'm not a fortune teller. I don't know when you're going to get your green card. I go, oh, yeah, you thought that was funny, huh? So I came into the production room and I said, Yonathan, Jilly. And who else was there? I think Jenny from the Cubicle.
Uh-huh.
And I said, we made it. My father finally watched the show after 25 months.
That's it. We can retire,
We can retire.
We're done.
Let's see who watches every day, though, right?
Yeah.
Let's see who watches every day. Deion Watson, how are you? Jessica Leamy, Joelle Reed, Tamika Nelson saying hello. Melissa Edwards. Yonathan, I never saw so many people tune in to saying hello to the squad today, right? Lisa Bling-Rose is watching. Karen Sanders is watching all the way down from the Carolinas. Javelle Finklin, how are you? Who else is here? Jessica Keeley says, hi, have a great Tuesday. I think we will, right?
Yeah.
And Susan Johnson, how are you? Brathwaite K says, bless up squad. Terry DeReal, Slamaz.
Slamaz.
I like Slamaz, right? Brittle Ray saying, squad up. Javelle Finnegan. Suzanne Johnson. Jessica Keeley, what's so funny, Yonathan?
Because it just the camera came on me and I was just looking at it. But I want to say to all the new viewers that are watching, if you guys don't understand what we're doing right now, this is where we welcome all of the Brad Squad. So you guys are new and you're watching, I want you guys to go into the comments and say squad up, and I want all of the Brad Squad to welcome all the new people. Say what's up.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Peace and Asinobi is watching. Lisa Bling Rose, Tamika Nelson saying hello. Marjorie Thompson, squad up. Let's see if we see anybody new today. What do you think?
Yeah.
Cordella Douglas, squad up. And I said Suzanne Johnson. Marissa Suku has a question. We're going to get to you in a few minutes, Marissa. Carol Anderson, the Tiger, watching. And Sweet X Theatist.
There we go.
We've seen Sweet X before. DeForbes, all the way in from the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And Demiola Olifa says, squad up, fellas.
Yeah.
By the way, we are not just on Facebook. We are on YouTube as well. And on YouTube, we got Angela Rawlings watching. Donald Horton says, good evening, everyone. What's up, Brad? Dr. Yo-Yo, Jill, and the love of my life, Kim. My number one, I miss you. Unfortunately, I do have to announce it because everyone's been asking where Kim is.
Yeah.
Kim is unfortunately no longer with the show.
Yeah.
So that is the bad news, and we're sorry to report that. But the good news is you still got me, and you still got this guy.
I'm here.
So let's say hello to Elena Godoy, Tracy Lacey. Back it up, Ricky. Overcoming. By the way, Cordella Douglas is double fisting Barbara Gordon.
Yeah.
The X to Mel says squat up. Punchy Queen B. Overcoming saying hello. Juan, greetings from Brownsville, Texas. Yara Edwards saying hello. Karen Reed said students IP. I don't even know what that means. And Jermaine Don saying, hey guys, great show as always. You have helped so many people that others don't care about. God bless. We care. I think some people don't care.
Right.
There's lots of people who do.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias, before we get into schmoozing, why don't you tell everybody what they need to do?
All right. We want everybody watching right now to join the Facebook fan page. All right. We're going to actually put the link in the comment section right now. And what that gives you is you get the incentive of the first 5 people that put their comments or their questions in the comment section on that Facebook fan page. You guys will get a guaranteed answered on the show. We don't guarantee all of the social media questions or all of the calls because we get so many each day, but you will get a guaranteed if you join that Facebook fan page right now. All you got to do is click the link, click join, and we will accept it. Now for Facebook, we want you guys to share to everybody. Everybody that's watching, y'all are going crazy right now. The views are sick for it to be so early in the show. So I need everybody watching to click that share button and send it to different people's pages. Share it in an inbox. You can share it in a group.
Time out.
What's up?
It's Sanke White's birthday, and I did not wish her happy birthday. She watches every day, and even on her birthday, she's watching. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Sanke, back to you, Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias.
Absolutely. And we also want you guys to put all your questions in the comments section right now. So to make sure that we get to your questions, because we're getting to a lot more social media questions, put in your comments right now. Put in all of your questions right now. And if your friends or family might have any type of immigration questions, make sure they do the same thing. All right. And also like, love, smiley face, sad face, wild face, mad face, whatever you're feeling, any emotion that you guys are feeling, make sure you show us on the video. And now for YouTube, we definitely need you guys all to subscribe. The first thing we need you guys to do is subscribe. Click that little red button and the bell right next to it to make sure you guys get a notification. We definitely want you guys to put all of your questions in the comment section as well. Also, we definitely need you guys to please click that thumbs up, all right? Click that thumbs up, turn that gray thumb to blue, and copy the link, share it to a text message blast. You could also share your YouTube video straight to your social media platform, any one of them, Twitter or Facebook, so make sure you do that as well. And now, this is what you guys have been waiting for. This is where we schmooze with Brad.
So, Yonathan, around 11 o'clock, I came in this morning and I walked into Julie Bean's office and I said, did you just see what just came across the news feed? And she goes, no, what? I'm working on Bradshaw Live. I don't have time to watch the news feed. And I said, Gordon Sondland, who was the EU, what I said, this is what I read. Gordon Sondland, who was the EU ambassador, the European ambassador to the United States, who had, and by the way, Ukraine, for those who are geographically not with it, is not part of Europe. Okay? Yet Donald Trump put him in charge of a Ukraine negotiation for a quid pro quo,
right,
which is basically a bribery. I'm not going to give you money for military aid that's already been authorized until you give us dirt on Joe Biden and his son. I'm going to bribe you. You want the money? Give me something.
Right.
That's basically the quid pro quo. And in his testimony behind secret doors, he said there was no quid pro quo. But has since, his lawyer wrote a letter today to the impeachment committee. And in a 4-page sworn testimony, this letter was written after his oral deposition. He confirmed his involvement in essentially laying out a quid pro quo to Ukraine that he had previously not acknowledged. Sondland revealed that he told a top Ukrainian official that the country would not receive American military aid unless it publicly committed to investigating President Trump's enemies. The testimony offered several major new details beyond the account he gave the inquiry in a 10-hour interview last month. Now, Sondland provided more detailed description of his own role in alerting the Ukrainians that they needed to go along with investigative requests being demanded by the president's personal lawyer, Rudolph Giuliani. Sondland also said in a text message exchange in early September with William Taylor, the top American diplomat in Ukraine, that the president had been very clear that there was no quid pro quo between the aid and investigations of former Vice President Joe Biden, but he said he didn't really believe the president really meant it. Now, in his updated testimony, Sondland recounted how he had discussed the linkage with Andrei Yermak, a top advisor to President Zelensky of Ukraine, on the sidelines of a September meeting between Vice President Mike Pence and Zelensky in Warsaw. So to say Mike Pence didn't know anything about this, he may be next. This new information surfaced as the House committees also released a transcript of their interview last month with Kurt Volker. In his testimony, Sondland said he believed that withholding the aid, a package of $391 million in security assistance, was ill-advised, although he did not know when, why, or by whom the aid was suspended. But he said, I presume that the aid suspension had become linked to the proposed anti-corruption statement. Now, in Kurt Volker's testimony, he was also part of this negotiation. He testified in his oral deposition that there is no question that Joe Biden and his son did nothing illegal.
Okay.
It may have been some sort of patronage that maybe, the son may not have gotten the job, but for his father being the vice president. But there was nothing illegal about it. So we have one aide in this negotiations with the Ukraine who said there was a quid pro quo. It was a bribery. Give me something about my political rival, or you don't get money that has already been authorized by law by Congress to be given to you to protect you from our enemies, the Russians.
Right.
And then we have Kurt Volker, another guy as part of this negotiation, saying everybody knows Biden and the son did nothing wrong.
Right.
The issue becomes that right now, senators are scared to go against Donald Trump. A majority of the Republican Party still supports Trump.
Okay.
But senators want their jobs better than they like Donald Trump. Right now, about 49% of the electorate believe Donald Trump should be impeached. I think I recall it's less than 20% of Republicans. I don't remember what that number is. Once more and more of this becomes public, once there is a reading of the oral testimony publicly and then public testimony by these same witnesses, if you see the American public, Yonathan, this is my opinion, get to about 60% want the man impeached, you're going to start seeing Republican senators running for the hills and say maybe we should impeach him. Because it's all about the Republicans' electability in the Senate coming 2020. And if they see people are starting to dump Trump, they're going to dump too. I mean, look at Mitch McConnell. Okay? He is the Senate Majority Leader.
Right.
He wants to remain the Senate Majority Leader. He's not blocking this impeachment inquiry or trying to downplay it because he loves Donald Trump. He's blocking it and trying to downplay it because the man wants to keep his job.
Exactly.
It's not fun to be the minority leader in the Senate. He wants to be the majority leader.
Right.
Because if you're the majority leader, you get to make the laws. If you're the minority leader, you just get to say, what am I supposed to be doing here? So he wants to keep his job. So right now, as the American public supports, or at least the Republican Party, the base support Donald Trump, they're going to support him.
Right.
But as soon as things
Everybody
so that's really what it's going to come down to. It's really a political thing. It's not a criminal thing.
That's crazy.
There is nobody who can honestly say that Donald Trump did not violate the law and violate the Constitution of the United States. It's come out already.
Jeez.
Meanwhile, Trump admitted today, after 2 years, saying he's going to build this big, beautiful wall. Nobody can get under. Nobody can get over unless you're a pole jumper. Nobody can get through this big, beautiful wall. He has finally admitted today that it may be impenetrable. this great wall that Donald Trump is building along the Mexican-U.S. border. It was reported yesterday, we talked about it, that gangs are using cordless saws that they purchase in the Home Depot for as little as $100 to make holes in the border wall that Donald Trump is making. Remember when he was saying, oh, Hillary is complaining? We're going to build the wall bigger. Oh, I think you just added another 3 feet onto. You know, you can build it as big as you want. You remember? He used to say it, and people would go, "Oh yeah, he's building a bigger wall." It doesn't really matter. They just take $100 saw and just saw right through it. So Trump now has admitted today that his border wall is not impenetrable, as he initially claimed. The gangs are using this $100 saw, and people are just going through the wall.
I'm here for it.
Now, this is as stupid as, do you remember the butterfly, the woman who ran the butterfly sanctuary, the National Butterfly Sanctuary in El Paso, Texas? If anybody watched our show about 9 months ago, she came on and said the wall is being built inland a little bit because they can't build the wall through the Rio Grande River.
Right.
So they're building it inland, several miles inland from the border.
Right.
And they're giving people who are on the wrong side of the wall, who are still in the United States of America, the code to go through the wall.
Oh my God.
So about 20,000 people have the code in El Paso, Texas at some point to also go through the wall. Now we have a clip of Donald Trump admitting that the wall may not be perfect.
Nobody's getting through. You can't get through unless you're a world-class pole vaulter on the Olympic team.
We have a very powerful wall, but you can cut through any wall, as you know.
Yeah. All right. So first, you can't get through. You can't get through, but now you can. So Donald Trump added, we have a lot of people watching. Cutting is one thing, but it's easily fixed. One of the reasons we did it this way, because it's easily to be fixed. I knew you could cut through it.
Right.
I knew all along you could cut through it. We did it purposely. We did it on purpose. Meanwhile, Lev Parnas, who he and his buddy Igor Fruman, I mean, it looks like they look like two guys from the musical The Producers.
Oh yeah,
right? Don't they look like if you were going to make The Producers Part 2? That these guys, these guys are in it. Now Lev Parnas, he's upset.
Why?
Because Donald Trump says, "I never met the guy."
Oh yeah.
Okay, now they've been right. He's been arrested. He was Giuliani's henchman, and he was arrested for trying to make connections with Giuliani with Ukrainian government officials in order to get dirt on Joe Biden. But now he's upset. He got arrested. He's sitting in jail, and Donald Trump's not coming to his rescue.
Right.
And he says, "I know Donald Trump. I've met him many times. I'm highly insulted that this man says he doesn't know me." So it turns out that now he's so insulted, Joseph Bondi, Lev Parnas' attorney, said Monday that his client is now willing to comply with the House impeachment inquiry, and
he's about to start spilling.
He's going to start spilling the guts.
I knew that's why it was, because he was so mad at the fact that Donald Trump wasn't coming to the House. Like, he's got some dirt on him. Ooh, it's about to be juicy.
And here's the video of Trump saying he doesn't know the guy.
I don't know them. I don't know about them. I don't know what they do. But I don't know. Maybe they were clients of Rudy. You'd have to ask Rudy.
Now, according to the Washington Post, Bondi, who's Lev Parnas' attorney, says all you have to do is just look at the public photos of the president and Parnas during intimate dinners, waving at each other with Giuliani, and you can clearly see they know each other.
Yeah.
Bondi said it would defy all reason to conclude the two did not know one another. It would imply a degree of ignorance that we are not prepared to attribute to Donald
Spill the
Trump.
beans.
So he is going. So he has now decided to spill the beans.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. In a weird turn of events, Donald Trump is now also becoming very, very spiritual. He needs the evangelical vote to keep him in power. Now, if you remember what I just said 3 minutes ago, and I'm sure you do, Yonathan, because you have a very good memory.
Yes.
What did I say?
I actually have a horrible memory.
Okay, what did I just say 3 minutes ago?
About
Trump, and he has to, and the Republicans will turn on him
until everybody else turns on him, and then they'll join the bandwagon.
Correct.
Because of their job.
So Donald Trump,
for the sake of their job.
Right.
Yes.
So Donald Trump, who has cheated on multiple wives.
Yes.
All right. We have proof of that.
Yes.
Right.
Disgusting.
And he has done nothing that we know of in a Christian nature. Right. has now come out and said he is, as huge Christian man, and he has now hired Paula White to advise on Donald Trump's Faith and Opportunity Initiative. Now, who is Paula White? She is a Florida televangelist, and she has been brought into the Trump administration to help shore up the evangelical base, even though there are many people who actually understand Christianity who would say that his beliefs are heretical.
Right.
Heretical. Now, nearly 3/4 of the people who approve of Donald Trump's actions as president, according to the NPR, will stand by him as he fights the impeachment probe. That is why he needs now, all of a sudden, he has evangelical pastors
and people are going
who are being paid by tax dollars to be in the White House.
That's so stupid.
She was quoted recently saying, "You can't say no to Trump without saying no to God, and that is something I will not do." And we have a video of her.
When I walk on White House grounds, God walks on White House grounds. I had every right and authority to declare the White House as holy ground because I was standing there.
Meanwhile,
ma'am.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Stephen Miller, he's getting married. He's the architect of Trump's immigration wall.
Okay.
And he's the one who was in charge of separating families at the border. And all of the negative ideas coming out of the White House originally come from this man's mind. He is Trump's immigration guy.
There you go.
He's getting married. You know who he's marrying?
Who?
Mike Pence's press secretary, Katie Wallman. Can you imagine that? What a horrible couple that is.
Right.
All right. It's like the guy
Keep
who's
it
in
in the
charge
family.
of destroying immigrant families who are coming to America, marrying Mike Pence's press secretary. So news of the couple's engagement was initially posted on Wallman's private Instagram page, and critics were quick to slam. He is the architect of the immigration, and she is Mike Pence's press secretary. Mrs. Shareems on Twitter said, "What kind of person would marry him? Truly, I promise you that Stephen Miller will go down as one of the most evil people in American political history." B.S. Traynor said, "Poor thing, can you imagine the men she's had in her life up until this point that Stephen Miller is appealing?" Jailing Trump tweeted, may they be separated from their children at birth. That's funny. Samana Sequity said, "If they do have kids, I hope they become Democratic Socialists."
Yeah, they'd be pissed.
Right. And remember, this is the guy I called Lurch. Right. Can you imagine, Yonathan, like you get married. Can you imagine yourself getting married one day?
Yes.
Okay. And then you have a wife and a child, and maybe you move out to the suburbs of Washington, D.C. You get a nice paying job there. Okay. You're off Bradshaw Live. You're making some bucks.
Some good
dough.
Yeah.
Right. You buy a nice little home, and you want to meet your neighbors. And there they are with their kid. I mean, how big of a wall would you build? How big of a wall would you build? Not that big,
because I want to throw eggs at their door
how big of a wall
every
would
day.
you build, right? So, meanwhile, this I thought was kind of interesting. In North Carolina, a man sued his ex-wife's lover. Yes, watch out, adulterers.
What happened?
A jilted North Carolina husband recently won a $750,000 lawsuit.
Damn.
That he filed against a former friend for stealing his wife.
Wow.
Yes, Kevin Howard won the judgment in August under an unusual North Carolina law that lets people file a suit for alienation of affection. It's a tort, like negligence, like intentional infliction of emotional harm. The tort is alienation of affection, where you have to prove that this person intentionally prevented my spouse from giving me love.
Wow. And that's an actual...
That is an actual law in North Carolina. And he sued this man, and he described the painful betrayal of this situation. He said his former friend came to my house and ate dinner with us. We shared stories. We talked about our personal lives. At first, the Nubo laughed about the lawsuit, Howard's attorney Cindy Mills told the outlet. I said, do you find something funny about this process? And he said, yes, I think it's funny that your client would sue me over this. Well, it's not funny anymore because he just now has a judgment for $750,000. Now, Howard, who is the plaintiff, the man who was the man who had his affection alienated.
Oh, okay.
He told a local radio station that he believes in the sanctity of marriage, and his divorce was almost unbearable, like someone calling you and telling you that a family member had tragically died. She had originally told me that she wanted a divorce because I worked too much, wasn't around to be there. I talked about that as part of my mistake in the situation, but it was like a punch in the gut because I thought I had this trust for 12 years and I had love. But it turns out she didn't want a divorce because he worked too much. She wanted a divorce because she was stupping the boyfriend. Stupping his friend.
His homie.
That's right.
Damn. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none, but not with your wife, man.
Now, besides North Carolina, you can also sue for alienation of affection in Hawaii, Mississippi, New Mexico, South Dakota, and Utah, which means that in North Carolina, Hawaii, Mississippi, New Mexico, South Dakota, or Utah, if your spouse cheats on you, you can sue the person your spouse cheated on for money.
How about if it's a stranger?
You then sue the stranger. It's in other words, you don't have to be your friend. So let's say your wife cheats. Let's say you're married. Mm-hmm. Your wife comes over to my apartment and we get down. Mm-hmm. I would never do that to you. I want you to know.
I would hope not.
Okay, I would never. You can sue me, the man who stuffed your wife.
How about if she lies though and says that she's not married?
It doesn't matter. Well, I don't know. I don't know all of the law,
right.
But I would say it doesn't matter.
Why is the man getting sued? Why doesn't the woman get sued?
The woman could be. Well, that's the wife. It's the person who was. Right. So this is how it works.
She's the one getting.
This is how it works. I'm going to quote the lawyer.
Okay.
For the plaintiff, it's like a personal injury case. If someone has a car wreck and hurts you very badly, you get damages for that. Marital courts are the same premise. You get damages if someone wrecks your marriage.
I think
that's basically it.
I think the spouse should get sued.
Right. Now, he said, I feel it's very important that people understand that the sanctity of marriage is important, especially in this day and age when people question everyone's morals, and the state backed me up on it.
Okay, I want to ask the Brad Squad, because I'm not even conflicted. I think that's wrong. Do you feel like the spouse who cheats on you should get sued, or the person they cheated with should get sued?
I think, well, there's two different things. The person they cheated with should get sued in a negligence suit. But if the spouse is an adulterer in a divorce, it should be taken into account in terms of how the marital assets are divided. Those are two different things. Now, in New York, it's not really taken into account.
Right, obviously, because everybody in New York are swingers.
But I would not. I now know not to enter into
Mississippi
into an adulterous in North Carolina. What were those states again?
Don't sleep with anybody's wife.
What were those states?
Honolulu,
Hawaii, Mississippi, New Mexico. I was just in Hawaii.
Don't sleep with nobody.
That's right. Now, you know anything about this Brunchella by Kanye West?
Yes.
Okay. Apparently, it was Friday. There was the 42-year-old rapper's Sunday service performed at the Bethany Church in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Yes.
The concert's free, although for $55 you can go to Brunchella, which is a meal prior to the concert.
Oh.
Now, when one concert goer saw what they were getting for their money, they took to social media to express their outrage.
And then have the nerve to be on a little paper plate.
Yes. So this is what you got for $55. This is the wonderful cold brunch buffet we are being served by Boyle and Rue BR. And the server looked at me crazy when I asked for a second pancake. One attendee wrote on Facebook, alongside an image of a meager 2 pancakes, 2 slices of bacon, and a sausage patty on a styrofoam plate, which was quickly compared to the infamous cheese sandwich at the Fry Festival on social media.
Oh, okay.
The hashtag Yeezy Fry Festival even began to trend.
That is trifling.
Now, what was the Fry Festival?
So Fry Festival was Ja Rule.
Oh, Fire Festival.
Fire Festival was Ja Rule. He's a rapper, and this other white guy, I forget his name, but they partnered up to do this huge festival over it was somewhere in the islands, I forget where. But they got like Kylie Jenner or Kendall Jenner and all these like Instagram models to promote it and stuff, and had all of these rich kids coming out there spending like minimum of like $15,000 each to go there. And they said that they would have private jets to take them there. They were all in this small, like this.
This was like in the Bahamas or something,
yeah,
right? Yes.
They were
Didn't the guy get arrested?
Yeah.
He got arrested,
but Ja
right?
Rule didn't. And like.
Why did Ja Rule not get arrested?
I don't know. He got lucky.
Because he was able to afford a good lawyer.
He was lucky.
Yeah.
He was lucky. But like, it was real trifling. Not as trifling as Brunchella, because at least you guys got a show.
but also you weren't in the middle of
nowhere and stuff.
At least you're in New Orleans and it's just a breakfast and a concert, right?
And they said they had huts for them and stuff.
Baton Rouge.
Yeah, they had huts for them. They didn't have it. It was like little tents that got tore down by wind and storm. It was horrible.
Now
watch that documentary on Netflix.
Now I'll tell you what people were saying on the internet about it. TK Experience said, "What's going on at Firefest South, aka Brunchella?" That's so Dara said, "Looks like Yee's Brunchella turned out to be brunch from hella," shaking my head. And Yeetwood Max said, "The pictures of the Brunchella plates have me in tears. Kanye got y'all again."
Okay.
Kanye got y'all
He
again,
got y'all
right?
again.
And Dinma at Retrobeat said, "Like they really had us hanging on a hill away from the stage. Promised we'd be ushered in later, only to hit us with nope." They wrote alongside an image of the scan offering on Twitter, later adding, "They just need to process refunds quickly. Hashtag Brunchella." Now, much controversy wrote, Kanye West concert in Baton Rouge was supposed to start at 6. It's now 7:30. And still no Kanye. Same playlist, still on repeat, slowly losing sanity. There's a blunt somewhere in the crowd. I wish it got passed to me. Hashtag Yeezy Firefest. And that's so, but I thought the best was, did he got you again?
Right. See, y'all be falling for that.
Yeah,
stuff,
how many times you going to fall for that one, right?
You know?
All right, so Yonathan, this comes the time when I'm going to be answering immigration questions, but before I do, can you please tell everybody what they need to do?
Absolutely. So I already told you guys how to share on Facebook. Just click that little arrow, share to anybody's page, share it to private groups, share it to inbox. I already told you how to share on YouTube. Copy the link, send it in a text message blast. But right now, what I need everybody to do is start a watch party. And that's our biggest way of getting the show out. And you guys already know how to do this. I'm gonna tell you guys, especially for those new people watching, click share. An option down that says start a watch party. You'll see how many friends you have online. It will send a notification to every single one of them. You will start a watch party right on your page. You are the Brad Bernstein of this show on your page. So I want you guys to go there, host, tell all your friends about the show, tag them in there. You can also invite them. There's a button where you can literally click on every friend and say invite. So do that right now. Everybody, start your watch party. Once you do that, please send them over to the main group. Introduce them. Let's get the numbers back up. All right, we started off strong. Let's get it right back up because we have that. You are the only way to get that up there. All right, it's all in your hands. So I want you guys to feel that power. Go in the comment section and confirm that you started your watch party. All right. Now this is what you guys have been waiting for.
One second.
What's up?
Did you forget YouTube?
No, I didn't. I already said it.
I never heard you say anything about YouTube.
I said it.
What'd you say?
I said that you already know how to share. Copy the link, send it into a text message blast.
I didn't. That went so fast I didn't even hear it.
Because we're focusing on watch parties. This is my job, all right? This is what I need to do. So I'm telling you guys how to do it. I already talked to you on YouTube. I talked to y'all on Facebook, but I need you guys to focus on watch parties right now.
Let me talk to YouTube a second.
Okay.
All right. I don't want YouTube to be forgotten. Okay, YouTube. There's a blue thumb that looks like this, but it's blue. It's right under your video. We have 135 people watching on YouTube right now. We should have 135 of those people pressing the YouTube thumbs up, the blue YouTube thumbs up. What would that do? That tells YouTube algorithm that this show is good, that people like it. And then they are going to show it to other people who may be interested. That's how you help you help me, help Yonathan,
Yeah.
help Jilly, help you and your friends, help me, help Yonathan, help Julie. It's a big, big, big circle.
Circle of life.
Right? It's a circle of life. And you know how many people have pressed that blue thumbs up since I have mentioned it?
4.
4. Which means to show that
No, it's
nobody
going up.
listens to Uncle Brad,
It's
right?
going up.
Who
All right.
listens to Uncle Brad?
Well, listen to me, all right, guys?
All right.
Please, thumbs up, everybody on YouTube. Show us the love. This is your way of showing love because Facebook, you guys already know how you guys have to do it. It's through starting a watch party. Now YouTube, show just as much love. You guys, it's so easy. Literally, just click that thumbs up. Now,
I just want to say a couple other things. Okay? People are applying for the job, Yonathan.
Yes, I see.
All right, we have a lot of applications coming in for the missing seat right here in the middle.
Trying to sit next to
I saw Marge Higgs applied, Javel Finnegan's applying. A lot of people are applying for this job.
Yeah.
A very coveted position.
I agree.
You know why? We need the most important thing about this position right here. This position, you have to be able to get people to start watch parties.
This is true.
Okay, Marge Higgs wants a job in this position? Well, start having watch parties. Javel Finnegan, you want the job in this position? It's called Start an Internship. Let's start the internship right now, watch party.
There you go.
Right?
That's your way of getting in.
That's right. Now, there's some people on YouTube also who are looking for the job right here in between me and Yo-Yo.
Right.
You gotta hit the thumbs up.
Please hit that thumbs up. It's simple.
Simple.
They got simple things.
How could they
man.
expect to have a job here? They can't
even
follow
do
the
that.
directions
Simple
there.
rule.
Now, I want you to know I love everybody on the Brad Squad.
Oh, absolutely.
I love them. I love them honestly. I really do. You know how? But you really want me to love you? Start a watch party, right?
There you go.
Start a watch party. I'm going to be answering your immigration questions right now in something we like to call. You got a question, I got an answer. Call with your questions. You're ready to screw that up all the time. I'm so screwing it up now. Getting answers to your immigration questions. Marcel in Greenville, South Carolina. How are you? Marcel.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah. Good evening, sir.
What's going on?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, please, my question is this. I want to know if your wife still gets food stamp, if that will be an issue when you file for your
Wait.
like that.
The last thing I heard is I'm good. And then you said, what if your wife gets in the way of petitioning you?
Okay. I'll take it slow. I said, okay, I'm actually married here, and I'm here to file my papers. But my wife still gets a food stamp.
She gets food stamps.
So,
now, is this food stamps for your wife or food stamps for her children?
It's for herself because she's been off job for.
Okay, so if
for
she's getting
some time.
food stamps for herself, she's below the poverty level. That could cause a problem. If it's food stamps for her children, not a problem. I think she's going to have to get off the food stamps file for you, and you're going to need a second affidavit of support anyway.
Okay, so she needs to get off the food stamp,
To
right?
file for you, yeah. I mean, I would say even though the laws haven't changed for adjustment of status yet, I would say 9 out of 10 times if the petitioner gets food stamps not for herself, for herself and not for her children, 9 out of 10 times they're going to deny you.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
right.
Another question I want to ask is this again, please. If your wife has there's some mix-up on the birth certificate, like the names there are not actually complete. They omitted the first name, just the last name. So would that be an issue too when you file?
What do you mean they omitted the last name?
Like the birth certificate, there was no first name on it, just the last name.
When did you get your
she's
first
been
name?
trying to get it fixed.
Okay, so basically when they issued the birth certificate, the parents never settled on a name, and the name was given after the fact.
Yes, I think something like that. Yeah, there was some mix-up on it. So the only name that appears on the birth certificate is just the last name.
This is on your wife?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes,
was
sir.
she born in America or born in another country?
Yes. She's born here. She was born in Brooklyn.
Okay, so what identification does
Brooklyn.
she have that she is who she is? Does she have a U.S. passport?
Yeah, she has. She's from here.
I'm not
She has,
saying
I think,
she's
a
from here.
social
I'm not
and
saying she's
everything.
from here. I'm saying, what identification does she have that's her first name? Does she have a U.S. passport in her first name?
No, I don't see. No, she doesn't have a U.S. passport.
Does she have a driver? She has a driver's license in her first name.
Yes, she has a state license.
How did she prove to the state that was her first name?
No.
Do you know?
That's something I don't know about.
All right, I think
but I know she has a social, and the social carries the name.
The social carries her name.
Yes,
and she has a driver's license in her name and a birth certificate with just the last name. And nobody ever amended the birth certificate to add her name?
She's trying to get it fixed
now.
Now
she's an adult, it doesn't matter. But she has a driver's license in, I'm just trying to see what identification she has. She has a driver's license in her real name with her first name. She has a social with her first name.
She has a state ID too.
And a birth certificate with just a last name. It'd be nice if she had a U.S. passport. I mean, they're obviously going to investigate all the authenticity of these documents, but if it's her, it's her. Eventually, she'll be able to prove it's her. Okay, hold on, but you may want to have a consultation. Hold on. Let's go to Mukhtar in New York, New York. Mukhtar.
Hi, Brad. How's it going?
Good. What's going on?
I have questions, and they all have to do with VAWA.
Okay.
First of all, when a VAWA authorization was stopped, did it had to affect cases that we are not approved, or
the VAWA is going on right now, so we're okay with VAWA right now.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that when it was stopped, did it stop the approved cases too? Did they stop dealing with the cases that were already approved?
VAWA is going on. They're approving cases that have been filed. They're accepting new ones.
Okay. The second question is that does approved VAWA case, say you're approved VAWA applicant, does that status, does it expire at any time, like if you don't get your green card?
No.
Okay.
There are people who have an approved VAWA case, and when you have an approved VAWA case that prevents the government from deporting you, yet are ineligible to adjust because of either an entry problem, a misrepresentation problem, or something else. So there are people that exist who have an approved VAWA, get a work permit, can't get deported, but can't get a green card.
Okay. So if you have an approved VAWA case and you're waiting for your interview, I-45 interview, is it advisable for you to ask for advance parole?
Sure, why not?
Okay. The last question is, if you are approved, you are VAWA approved case, then you're waiting for your I-485 interview. In that interview, are you expecting questions on the I-360 you filed, or based on, say, a K-1 visa that you entered on that marriage?
You can expect questions on everything. You can expect questions on how you got your visa. You can expect questions on your entry into America. You can expect questions on your marriage, on the abuse that occurred in your marriage, on your good moral character, on every question you asked on that I-360 and every question on the I-45. You may be asked nothing. You don't know what's going to happen. You prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
Okay, so those were my questions. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I didn't know what he's like. I thought he was building to a crescendo of like, okay, now here is the question. Because it was like, those were like introductory questions. But he said that was it. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
Or maybe I don't make any sense.
No, you did.
Jane in Fort Myers, Florida. Jane.
Hello?
How are you?
I'm good.
What's going on?
I'm calling Mr. Does the child under 21 of a green card holder cover under the Child Protection Status Act?
The question is, does a child under 21, a green card holder, protected under the Child Status Protection Act? Is that your question?
Yes.
I don't understand what that means. Tell me what your situation is.
Okay, so like for example, my mom is a green card holder, and then my brother is under 21. So if he's aged out, when the application is pending, does the child protection
Depends. It depends. Who's filing for your mom?
No. My mom filed for my brother. My brother is under 21.
Your mom filed for your brother. He is under 21, so she's a permanent resident.
Yes.
When did mom file for your brother?
On January 2017.
And how old is your brother now?
Now he's 21.
Okay, has the case been approved?
No, it's still pending.
Still pending. Where's your
Yes.
brother?
Now he's in Haiti.
He's in Haiti. He
Yes.
should still be covered under the Child Status Protection Act, presuming that when the case gets approved, his priority date is current for F2A.
Yes, as of now, I check it on Visa
yes.
Bulletin. The priority it is current.
Assuming it gets approved, then the answer would be yes. He would be covered under the Child Status Protection Act, provided he applies for that green card within 1 year and establishes with the National Visa Center that he qualifies under the Child Status Protection Act. And I'm saying Brad Bernstein, he would.
Okay, so do you have an idea where they are at now on this category for the visa?
I think his case should have already been approved. You know the old saying, which I say all the time: a visa delayed is a visa denied. So I think at this point you need to start thinking about pre-litigation mandamus action. So hold on 1 second. Let's go to Nadia in Ontario, Canada. Nadia.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Brad?
Good. What's going on?
I have a few questions real quickly. I want to know, what documents do I need to prove a bona fide relationship between an adult child and father?
Between an adult, well, the father is filing for the child or vice versa?
The father is filing for the child,
okay.
Correct.
And the father was never married to the mother?
No.
Okay. So when the father was never married to the mother, not only do you have to prove a blood relationship, you share the same DNA, your biological father, you have to prove that between the ages of birth and 18 that you had a bona fide parent-child relationship. Not, I have a relationship with this man now as an adult, but I was a good father to my child when he was between birth and 18. So that would be you have pictures. They have pictures together. They spend time together. That would be a way to prove you were a good father. You spent time with your child. You were not absent.
Right.
You sent money for his support. You were maybe on the school records. You signed the immunization record. You were there at the doctor. You were there at the school to accept his report card. The school record had something to say on their records that in case of emergency, call dad, and here's his telephone number. And if you don't have any of that, you always just go to the neighbors. And the neighbors say, I remember back in the day that Joe, the dad, was fabulous. I remember them playing ball in the backyard every day, or whatever there is, whatever they know. I mean, that's how you prove it.
Okay, that sounds good. And another question for you. Are you available next month for consultation?
Am I available next month? Yonathan, can you pull out my calendar? When would you like to? I don't know if I'm available. Of course I am. Hold on 1 second. All right, hold on. Do I have a calendar out right now? Am I available next month?
I think you are.
I think so, too. All right. Let's do some social media questions. What do we got?
Absolutely. All right. So remember, guys, the first 5 questions that we're asking are questions from the Brad Squad page, the fan page. So you guys have to join it. So click that link and press join, all right? Now, our first one comes from Su Wang Wang saying, can a family of 4 remove their condition on the same application? What's the name of the form to be used, and what should be submitted with the application, please? The 90-day rule is before, or should it be a day before the 90 days to remove the condition?
Okay. That was a whole mouthful, but I got the question. Okay. You can include, the family would be your children. You can include your children on your I-751 if the children got their green card within 6 months of the main parent who's removing the conditions. So, for example, if I'm removing the conditions of my permanent residence and my children got their green card on the same day as me or within 6 months of me, I can put them on my application. You file it. There's a 90-day window. The 90 days preceding the end of your 2-year anniversary. You don't file it on day 91, you file it between day 90 to 0. And you can include your children as long as they got their green card within 6 months of you. If they got their green card more than 6 months after you, then they have to file their own I-751 when it comes time for their green cards to expire. And that even doesn't matter whether you adjusted, they got their green card at the U.S. Embassy or vice versa. It doesn't matter where, if you got your green card together, it's the time period.
All right, our next one comes from Sweet X saying, what's the chance a person has, if they were married to a person and the person divorced them on their 2-year green card extension before the 10 years, they already filed the 10-year paperwork, which is pending.
There's no law that says you have to stay in an unhappy marriage. I think I answer that question every day. Mm-hmm. If the person divorces you, you say, thank you very much. Who the hell needs you anyway? And you submit the divorce papers to immigration on your pending I-751, and you say, I was in a happy marriage, and it's not so happy anymore, we're getting divorced. But I can prove it was a good marriage and a bona fide marriage while the marriage lasted. And you do it on your own, and you say ta-ta to the other person.
Okay. And our next one comes from an anonymous saying, sir, please tell me, in CEAC account, my sponsor's civil documents. Do you know the CEAC account?
No. What's the CE?
I think it's for
uploading to the national visa center.
The CEA site.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So the CEAC account, my sponsor's civil documents column is showing accepted, but after accepting all the documents, the NVC sent a message telling them to send proof of sponsor's assets. What should I do now?
Follow what the NVC says.
Okay. And our next one comes from Vinette saying, can you file for your child under 21 with a conditional permanent residency?
Yes.
Okay, and our last one for now is Sharna saying, can a person with a VAWA case who only has a work permit and SSN file for their kids back home?
Person with a work permit file for their kids back home?
With a VAWA case who only has a work permit and
No, you have to get the approved VAWA approved, get your green card, and then you can include your children as derivative to follow to join you. Before I go back to the telephone lines, Yonathan, Yo-Yo, Elias, you have a very important message to tell people who have a telephone or a computer and are watching us on Facebook.
Yes.
What is that message?
Everybody who has a telephone or a computer that you're watching this on, I need you guys to start a watch party. So this is where you guys...
Excuse me, would that be everybody?
Everybody.
That would be everybody.
Every and anybody.
All right. Well, what about if you're watching on a laptop?
That's what I said.
What if you're
watching a laptop?
What about an iPad?
Phone, iPad,
any device.
Computer, any device.
Any device that plugs in.
Even if you're watching it on TV, get your phone out and do it. Log on to your Facebook account. It's so easy. All you have to do is click share. It's a little arrow that says share right next to the video. Option down, it says host your own watch party. You are the host of this show on your own page.
Do you know what I find just now listening to you? It's so much more exciting. I don't know why, but I get more excited to do a watch party, and I think it's more enticing to do a watch party when I hear Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias telling everybody, do a watch party, and you have the Bradshaw live music behind you.
Doesn't
it?
True.
Right? Let's try that and just see.
You want to do that again?
Yeah. Do we have the Bradshaw live music? There.
All right, guys.
Yeah, there you go. Isn't it more exciting? It's like it's boring otherwise, right?
We're going to make Brad happy, all right, guys? So help me make Brad happy by
so much better.
A watch party, guys.
Right? Much more energy now.
Okay, so you guys see exactly how we're doing it. Right there, we made a whole graphic for you. It's so easy, literally. Just click that little arrow, say share, start your watch party, put it on your page, and go in the comment section
there you go.
Confirm.
It's so much better with the music. When you're saying without the music, I was putting me to sleep.
Well.
Right, and now you got the music, and look at this thing go. Raging.
There you go.
Raging, I'm saying. Let's go to Stacy in Coropolis, Pennsylvania. Stacy.
Hi.
How you doing?
This is Stacy. So, my case was denied. My 485 was denied.
Right.
And I reapplied. I wanted to know if they would use my priority date from the previous
No, you got to start from
case.
scratch. No.
Okay. So.
Right. Well, let me ask you this question. What do you mean by priority date? Who sponsored you? Let me just make sure we understand what we're talking about.
My husband.
You was a citizen?
Yes.
Okay. Now you're starting over from scratch again.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Let's go to Sam in Canton, Ohio. Sam.
Hey, Brad. Thanks for taking my call.
What's going on?
I did my adjustment of status interview a couple weeks ago, and at the end of the interview, I got like a sheet from the officer saying, we're going to continue your case. We can't make a decision at the moment.
Right. Why do you think they couldn't make a decision at the moment? What's the problem with your case?
Nothing. Like my attorney was saying, it's a pretty much like a straightforward process. It's employment based. I've been living in the States for like 13 years. It's very, very straightforward thing.
Okay. So.
And even, one thing about this is the officer at the time of the interview, she was literally asking me what documents you want me, to give her. And, I was very well prepared. I have a big pile of documents.
I have a question, Sam.
Sure.
What is your question? Tell me you want to know when you're going to get a green card? What's your question?
Yeah. So, first of all, is that normal to get that?
Yes. Yes. It's very normal that they don't make a decision on the spot.
Now, the other thing, which is kind of like a follow-up to that, is when I do the online status on USCIS website, it still shows interview was scheduled.
Sam, don't follow the immigration website. The computer annotations are never updated in real time, so don't worry about that.
Okay. Now, normally, how long after the interviews are?
But by law, if you want, I can only tell you what the law says. What the law says is they have 120 days from the time of the interview to make a decision. Thumbs up, thumbs down. All right, they got to get up or down, green card or no green card. If they don't give you a green card, they have to have a legal reason to do it. Otherwise, they got to give you a green card. What happens in the day of Donald Trump and Mike Pence is many times 120 days comes and goes and they do nothing. And then you're sitting on your hands wondering what's going on. And then at that point, that's when you need, to get involved and be a little more aggressive, depending on what your situation is. When was your interview?
It was a couple weeks ago.
All right, so you got to wait and see what happens, okay? But it is normal to go on an interview and not get an answer. After 120 days, they're violating your rights.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Hang in
Great.
there.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's go to Andre in Tampa, Florida. Andre.
Yes, good night. Calling on the behalf of someone from Jamaica.
Okay.
He traveled to the U.S. from Jamaica. After reaching to the U.S. a couple of days later, he was placed on a watch list by the Jamaican police. The question is, if going back to Jamaica or re-entering the U.S., can his visa be cancelled whilst on the watch list?
Why? I don't know anything about Jamaica. I don't even know what the Jamaica watch list is. Okay, if the
Jamaican it's police... a case of reasonable suspicion for simple larceny.
Well, all I can tell you is that Jamaican government shares information with the U.S. government through, Interpol. Yeah, I just went blank. I had a senior moment for a second. So that information is shared, and yes. I would be very, very. I would be very surprised if this man comes in and if the Jamaican government wants to speak to him, that immigration doesn't stop him and certainly talk to him and perhaps even send him back to speak to the Jamaican government. I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, so if that person should plan to get married over here, can that watch list affect anything?
Yes. Well, you have to have good moral character. Assuming he doesn't have an arrest, assuming he's not arrested or anything, he would be eligible for a green card unless they're going to say because he's on this watch list he doesn't have good moral character, or unless there's an international warrant put out for his arrest or something like that. All right, but we would have to find out more about this watch list. I'm not sure what that really entails.
Okay, so
It's the answer to why watch list.
The watch list really, it's just a case of simple larceny. He's just wanting for questioning.
Again, I'm telling you the truth. I'm really not familiar with what you mean by watch list. If the Jamaican government wants to question him and it's important to them, the U.S. government's going to hand him over.
Okay.
All right. If it's not, then it's not. I don't know.
Okay.
All right. Hold on. All right. Let's go to Tanya in Phoenix, Arizona. Tanya.
Hello. Good evening,
How you
Mr.
doing?
Shaw. I'm from Jamaica, but
Yes.
I'm in Arizona.
Okay, how are you?
I'm good, sir, and how are you? You're
Fabulous.
doing a very wonderful job.
I really
This
try.
is not a job. You're educating the world.
Thank you. I try my best. I try my hardest, and we let the dice fall how they fall, or the cards fall as they fall. But I try my best. Try to give my best advice I can. What can I do to help you, Tanya? And I appreciate your kind words.
Yes, sir. Just asking a simple question.
Yes.
I have a visa, a visitor visa, B1, B2, I think it is. I don't follow up those things. I'm just glad I get the opportunity to travel. But I'm here in Arizona, so I'll know if I get 6 months in the country. My 6 months will be up on the 5th of February, but I'm planning to go before February, like in January. You think that would be a problem to immigration?
As long as you stay for less than 6 months, you're fine. The problem is if you stay for 6 months and go home for 2 weeks and want to come back, you're going to have a problem. So if you stay for 6 months, if you stay for 6 months or 5 months or whatever it is, a long period of time. Hello, you hear me? If you stay.
Hello?
You hear me? Hello?
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 Yes, I get cut off. I was speaking to the lawyer.
Yes, you're still speaking to the lawyer?
Yes, sir. I don't hear what you say about the 6 months.
Okay, you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the longer you stay, the longer you have to stay out of the country. Because as a visitor, you have to be visiting. You can't use the visitor's visa as I want to live here visa. So for example, you can't come as a visitor for 5 months, go home for a month, come back for 5 months, go home for a month, come back for 5 months, because basically you're not visiting America, you're visiting Jamaica and living in America. It has to be the other way around. So if you're going to stay here for, you understand what I'm saying? So if you stay here for 5 months, you got to stay in Jamaica longer than 5 months before you come back.
Definitely. I know that, sir.
Right.
I know that. I know that because I was in Las Vegas 2016 and I spent 2 months and 2 weeks and went home. And I did not travel last year, so I'm here now.
Fine. Okay.
And I'm here from August.
So stay the 5 months, enjoy yourself. Just know you're not coming back for at least a year.
No, sir. I wanted to come and see you.
Okay, hold on. All right, Yonathan.
Right.
What do we got on social media?
On social media, our next one is from Glama saying, good afternoon, asking for a friend. Is it true that one has to pay $500 for a social security number?
No.
Okay, Michelle saying, my husband is in Nigeria, Lagos, and I'm in the States. We've paid the money for the visa, and I'm in process of finding someone to sponsor him. How long will it take to get an appointment for the visa interview?
Wait, you paid for a visa, but you don't have a sponsor? Huh? Did I sound like Scooby-Doo there?
No, brr. I think that was a little bit.
How do you do Scooby-Doo? Shaggy?
Okay, yeah.
Was that okay?
No, it was all right.
Nah, not very good.
No.
Right. To the mystery machine!
Yes.
All right, I have no idea what that means.
So we have paid the money for the visa, and I'm in the process of finding someone to sponsor him.
I guess it's a visitor's visa, and they're trying to get an affidavit of support,
But it's her husband.
Or so maybe a second affidavit of support?
Maybe.
Or I don't know. So be more specific.
Okay. Redoy says, we asked this. Anger saying, my friend's child
Anger?
ENGR.
Anger. Not anger.
That's the same thing.
Anger. Yes.
My friend's child was adopted from South Africa to England, and he signed the adoption paperwork to them under duress because the family put pressure on him to do that, and now he wants to get the baby back. Please, is there any possible way?
You're asking me about South African and English adoptions under duress. I want you to know I'm a really good lawyer. I don't have the slightest idea.
Right, that's not
my thing. It's not my
your niche, your specialty.
My niche. Not my ting.
Not your ting.
Yeah.
All right. Mukaza saying, I have a friend who's here on a visitor's visa, now married to a U.S. citizen. While filing for the I-30, the parents differ from the ones on her DS-160 filed with the embassy in Kenya. Is there a way out?
Why do the parents differ?
It's a lot of
fraud there.
Yeah.
Sounds very fraudulent.
Yeah.
Let's go to, before we go to Lloyd, we have some Bradshaw Live music. Here we go. Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias, one last time. With a little gusto.
All right, guys. Let me say this to you guys. One last time, I need you guys to all start your watch parties. I need you to also help me telling everybody to start their watch parties and let them know how to do it. It shows you right there. We're showing it to you. All you have to do is click that little arrow, say share, host your watch party, go into your page, talk to your friends, send them to the main page, comment in the section, introduce them, and I want every Brad squad to make sure their friends do the same thing. Help us, help you, help the world. Now back to Brad.
All right. Lloyd in the Bronx, what's up?
Hey, Brad, how you doing,
What's
man?
going on?
Yeah, I have a simple question. I want to know how long does the mandamus process take?
From the time you file, it could be 4 or 8 weeks.
4 to 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Maybe sooner.
Okay. Oh, sooner, because what it is, I have a case pending since 2017.
For what?
And I still haven't gotten any reply.
For what? Adjustment?
Update of status.
You want to adjust your status?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
hold on. 2 years,
status.
adjustment of status, 2 years. It's mandamus all day long. Hold on. Let's go to Momo in Madison, Alabama. Momo.
Hello, Bob.
How you doing?
I'm doing good by yourself.
What's going on?
Yeah, I have a few questions. I think it's 3 questions.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is, what is going on now when it comes to the child of a U.S. citizen that is born out abroad?
A child of a United States citizen born abroad, if the U.S. citizen can prove that they were living in the United States for 5 years after the age of 14, before the child was born, in any status, whether it's green card or citizen, that child's an automatic U.S. citizen.
It's automatically citizen?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So in my case, it's going to be okay. Because I've been living here for 5 years. So
you're
okay.
a U.S. citizen, Mobo?
I am about to, because I have already my interview in 1 week.
And when did you get your green card?
Back in 14.
2014? When?
Yeah.
When?
In November.
Okay, so any child born after November of this year and you're a citizen would be an automatic citizen.
Okay, so the child is going to be born, my child is going to be born March, February.
Okay, so as long as you're a citizen before March, February, that child's a citizen.
Okay, now the second question
Now,
is,
if you're not a citizen by then, child's nothing, then you become a citizen, you file for that child. In I-130, the child comes to America, and then the child would automatically become a citizen.
Yeah, but my concern is because I already have the 130 for my wife going on. So what if I find myself in that situation?
Well,
and then
if you find yourself in that situation, you would have to quickly file an I-130 for the child, and your wife's going to be delayed coming here, waiting for that I-130 by the child to complete.
So she has to wait until it's done?
Yeah, if you want the child to come, you can't include that child on your wife's petition once you become a citizen. What you want is to become a citizen before the child's born. Work on that.
That's my prayer.
Work on that. Work on it, because you're gonna have there's gonna be a delay. You can't file for this child right now because the child's not born yet.
Yeah, exactly. I cannot do anything.
So then maybe hire a good lawyer to push your citizenship along. If it's pending a while, mandamus it or de novo it or something. So hold on 1 second, all right?
Okay, my last question is, hello?
I'm listening.
Yeah, my last question is, I have my cousin. She's having issues with the husband. She's here as a U.S. a permanent resident with green card. They came with the lottery, and they kind of getting into fight.
So get
divorced.
divorced.
and she doesn't want the husband. She doesn't want the husband to stay here with her anymore because she's the one that won the lottery.
But
so
too bad.
The
They both got their green cards. There's nothing she can do about it. The only thing she can do is get divorced and live a happy life. But if she wants retribution against the husband and throw him out of the country, she can't do it.
She cannot do it. It's late for her.
Yeah, too late for her. All right?
Okay.
All right. Be
Okay,
well, Momo.
Okay, Vlad, please. Let me ask you one question.
Momo, this is your third question now on 3 different things. I got to get to other people.
I swear, it's the last one.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Lucky I like Momo. I don't know why I like this guy, but I like him. Okay, go, Momo.
Yeah, my last question is,
yeah.
What if in my let's go back in my situation. If after my interview, because my interview is December 1st, what if after my interview, if they say it's going to take a long time for me to go to the oath ceremony, I think that's where I'm going to try to think about hiring a lawyer, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because okay, but how long do they usually give you?
Assuming everything goes well on the interview, it's 4 to 8 weeks for an oath ceremony.
What did you say, please?
4 to 8 weeks for an oath ceremony, assuming everything goes well. So if your interview is the first week of December, you should be a citizen before the child's born in March.
Okay, good.
Right.
Thank
So
you
you'll
very
be
much,
okay.
Vlad.
All right, Momo.
Thank you. You're doing a good job.
Thank you. Woo. That Momo. That Momo. Boy, I don't know. He's a very, I don't know if it's maybe the name.
I like Momo.
I liked him too. I don't know why. All right. Desmond in Big Spring, Texas. Desmond.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hello. Hi, Brad.
Yes.
How you doing?
Hi, what's up?
All right. So, firstly, I want to thank you for the good job you're doing out there, and you're doing a really good job. I want to thank you for everything. And I just quickly want to ask this question for a friend.
Yes.
He's in the United States Armed Forces. He just got married like last week.
Great.
And is out of the country, but he wants me to find out what he needs to put together for the alien wife, to come to the U.S. and how soon.
Well, he needs to file
he
needs to file an I-130 visa petition. And in the I-130 visa petition, he has to prove that he's a U.S. citizen. He was free to marry this woman. This woman was free to marry him. Prove who he married. So we need a marriage certificate, divorce decrees, birth certificates of everybody, proof he's a citizen, proof he's in the military. You file the I-130. The I-130 gets approved. And after that, you visa process with an affidavit of support.
Okay, but he wants to know, like, how soon?
The day after he's married, file the papers.
Yes, what he said is how soon before they approve the case for the wife.
It could take anywhere from 12 to 18 months. So start immediately.
Okay, thank you, Brad.
All right.
Thank you, Brad.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Let's go to Melissa in the Bronx. Melissa. Melissa.
Hello.
Hi, Melissa. How are you?
I am fine, thank you. Just have a quick question. My mom came here over 29 years ago illegal, and they found out at JFK, and however, she was sent back to Jamaica. In 2012, when I was getting married, I sent her invitation, a whole bunch of stuff, but she was denied the visa.
Right.
And I'm a citizen, and I want to know if there's a way in which I could,
there's not.
Petition for her.
She got stopped at the airport, so most likely it was for misrepresentation with a fraudulent document. So she was found inadmissible, excluded, or removed, depending on what year this happened. And she's permanently barred from returning unless she can get a waiver. And she can only get a waiver through a spouse or a parent, but not through a child, unfortunately.
Okay, through a spouse or
a parent only.
So she would have to get married to someone from here?
In a bona fide marriage, yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right. We're going to get to more. We have some more people on hold, and we're going to get to those questions in a second. We're going to get to more social media. But in the meantime, in today's Spar Bernstein Attorney Close-Up, Spar Bernstein's immigration attorney and partner Shannon Laguerre-Maingrette gives helpful tips when filing for your green card. Let's go.
When filing for a green card, I think that people who are interested in obtaining a green card should thoroughly vet their attorney. I think that they should go around and basically meet with attorneys, and they should feel very comfortable with who they hire. I think it's very, very important to trust your attorney. I think it's important to be able to ask them questions so you can feel that they're basically working hard for you. I think it's a very important thing, and so you'll see with a lot of our clients, I make sure that basically they feel that they are being well represented. It's very important to trust your attorney, and also a lot of times clients feel that it's okay to call immigration, the 1-800 number, and ask questions. Those individuals are not attorneys, and they also are not supposed to give you advice, but will sometimes do so, and it can be harmful to your case. So that's why it's very important to trust your attorney and to talk to an attorney when you're handling or when you have an immigration case.
Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. All right, Yonathan, Yo-Yo, Elias, what do we got on social media before we get back to our telephone calls?
Absolutely. And before we get to our telephone calls, I need you guys to all, can I get my music? Cue in my music.
Come on.
Cue in my music.
There you go. There you go.
To start a watch party. All right, this is the last time I'm going to say it, so make sure that you guys all do it. You already know how to do it. Click that little share button, the arrow, option down. It says host your watch party, start your watch party. This is the best way to get this show out. So do it, confirm in the comment section.
And by the way, we have over 200 people watching on YouTube, and only 72 people took out a blue thumb and gave it to us. And there's always one person who...
Let's not even call them out. Who cares about that?
That bothers me.
Double that 71.
Double that 72. Take out your thumb right now. Go on YouTube. I want to get to 120 thumbs up.
There you go.
All right? Because that's going to tell YouTube that we're doing something good and positive for not only you, your friends, your family, the world, everybody who needs help.
All right.
So give us a thumbs up, YouTube.
All right. Now our social media question comes from Rudra saying, Brad, I just want to know that VAWA got extended.
It didn't, but they're still accepting it. So until further notice, VAWA's good.
All right. Karana's saying, hey, Brad, asking for a friend. Someone came in the U.S. when they were 18 and the person's mother filed an I-130 for them within 82 days. Will this be a problem with the, by the way, the petition was approved?
Is this a problem?
The mother filed for the
what about
I-130 within the 82 days.
It depends what the mother's a citizen, a resident. Did they file an adjustment? I need to know a little more.
Okay, Terry saying the RFE requested for son who is now 21 years old as of April 2019. The PD is July 9th, 2018. Will USCIS still process his I-130 petition? I thought he aged out. He was filing for a green card parent. He was filed for by a green card parent. He's outside the country.
Yeah, they'll still process him, and they may be under the child status protection. Actually, got to see what the priority dates are when this case gets approved.
Okay, the PD was July 9th, 2018.
Yeah, but in other words, how it works is you get to add the time it took the I-130 to get approved to his 21st birthday to keep him in the F2A category, or her. So let's say it was filed in January 2018, and he turns 21 in 3 months later. It depends on how long the case takes to get approved. Let's say it took the case to get approved 1 year, so he gets till 22, assuming the priority date's current when the case gets approved. So we don't know yet, but things may be looking good because the priority dates are current right now.
All right, and I do want to say before I ask the next one, Sweet X, you're saying, looks like I need to join YouTube. I need one of the Brad Squad members or any of the Brad Squad crew to put in a link of the YouTube video, the current YouTube video, in the comment section right now. Any one of you guys on the Brad Squad on Facebook can join that and double fist as well. Put that thumbs up for us so
but
we can double that.
But also, Pizza can do that too, or Jenny from the Cubicle.
That's what I said, yeah, one of the Brad crew.
Oh, I didn't hear you say crew. Never mind. I'm not even listening anymore.
This is the second time
yes,
you didn't listen.
That is very true.
Susanna is saying, other than family and marriage, can a family friend sponsor you, or is it on a B1, B2 visa, and how long will it take?
Can a friend sponsor you?
Can a family friend sponsor you?
There's no such thing as sponsoring on a B1, B2 visa. The B1, B2 visa is up to you to go in and prove that you're coming here as a tourist and returning home. So there's no sponsorship by some family member's friend. People say, oh, I want to get a letter of invitation. What's the purpose of you coming? You know what the best purpose of coming? I'm a tourist. I'm coming to visit. I'm staying at a hotel. Here's my hotel. Here's my plane ticket. I'm leaving in a week. That's what a tourist is.
All right, and our last one for now is Maruf saying, good evening. When I'm filing a VAWA, do I have to file an I-485 and pay a filing fee?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, let's go to Farouk in Salt Lake City, Utah. Farouk.
Hey, yes. Hi, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. So I'm calling to ask a question about asylum.
Yes.
I've applied for asylum 3 years ago, 3 more years ago, and I still haven't heard back. Nothing has happened yet. Heard the backlog's been increasing the whole time, and they changed the processing rules. So what are my options at this point?
Well, if you have a solid case, I would file a mandamus. If you don't, then you don't want an interview because you're going to get denied. So it depends on, how good of a case you have, and that would be determined in a consultation. But if you have a good case, that's a winnable case, you file a mandamus. Other than that, you're going to wait forever. All right, so hold on one second. Hold on 1 second. Let's go to Maria, if this works. Maria in Chicago, Illinois.
Brad.
Hi, Maria. How are you?
Good, thank you. So I have a question. I got into this country with a J1 visa, and then right before it expired, I requested an extension, and immigration changed it to a B1 status. After that, I overstayed, and then I got married. And when I was filing my, I think there's a form for adjustment, the I-485. So it's asking me for my last what was the status that you last entered.
It was on the J.
Okay, and then I went to the interview. Okay, and so after the interview, finished the interview for the adjustment, the officer asked me for my I-94. So I think I had two I-94s. The one that it was for the J1 when I entered to the country, and then when they changed my status, it was a new I-94.
Right, so get both.
Well, I only gave her one.
Okay.
The J1, I didn't have the other one, so would that be a problem?
No, because they have all this information in the computer, so I wouldn't worry about it.
I just want to make sure because the case.
Don't worry about it. Nothing you told me is wrong.
Well, because my case later on was denied.
Why?
But it was a long story. It was not because my I-481. It was my I-130 because of Adam Walsh. So they denied my.
Right, because your spouse was found guilty of child abuse.
Yes. So they denied my adjustment of status because they said the other petition was not approved.
Right.
But then when I got the letter, they said that I was on the status of J1. So when my adjustment was denied,
you seem like a very nervous person. Tell me what is your question? You're just telling me a whole history, and I'm listening to like this very nervous person. Tell me what your question is, and I'm ready to help you. But
I just want to make sure.
I haven't heard a question yet.
Okay, would that be like a misinterpretation? I just gave them the I-94, the first one, not the last one.
No.
Okay.
And by the way, I would fight that Adam Walsh thing. All right.
No, I already got
you got divorced from this man?
Yeah, I got divorced and I remarried somebody else.
Okay, and then basically what you want to do is now file a new adjustment as quickly as possible. That's really
okay. So I wouldn't have any problem.
You're not going to have any problem whatsoever.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
All right. I'm going to sweat listening to that one. Yeah. I know. Lumel.
Oh?
How are you?
I'm doing well.
How are you doing?
Good evening. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Good.
Yeah. My question is, I get married to a U.S. citizen, but when we're filing the adjustment status, the moment they respond to us that they need additional information, she said she's done with the marriage. We have an issue, and she wants to get a divorce, which she did. And so my question is that going to affect me if I marry someone else and file another?
You're allowed to fall in love, fall out of love, and fall back in love, just like Maria before. She fell in love with the wrong guy. She got divorced. She can file again, and the same as you.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not a problem.
Okay. Right. So my last question is, the lady I met now, she has 2 kids, but she doesn't have a great job. and she's on food stamps and
Get off the food stamps. File now before the laws change. Because once the laws change, even off food stamps without a great job, it'll be hard for you to get through. Right now, get off food stamps, file, get an affidavit of support from someone else, you'll be fine. Do it quickly before the laws change, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Meanwhile, in this clip from our Abadir Sues the Government series, Spar Bernstein immigration attorney Abadir Barre and I explained the mandamus, because everyone says, what is this mandamus? Mm-hmm. And the APA cases we put together for people who have been waiting years and years for their I-130 to get approved. So for everybody who watches and says, what do I do when my case is pending too long? You file a mandamus. Let's watch. This show, Abadir, on a regular basis, almost daily, we will get a call or a social media question.
Yes.
I filed for asylum 3 years ago. When will I get my interview? I filed for asylum 5 years ago. I still haven't gotten an interview. 7 years ago. And the only thing I can do is look into my magic 8 ball, because I have no idea when you're going to get it.
Yeah.
I know one guy who's waiting 10 years.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Your life's in limbo, Abadir. Tell me what you do.
You have to file a lawsuit. As Brad said before, there was processing times. There was an order to things with the Obama administration, the Bush administration. People would file for their asylums, and you could check and say, okay, the wait time for interviews is 1.5 years or 2 years. But now somebody will call, and you can't even tell him anything because he's turned the process on its head. So the only thing you could do is file a lawsuit and challenge the regulation.
Now, in our last episode of Abadir Sues the Government, we talked about pending I-130 visa petitions, people who have had visa petitions pending for a long time.
Right.
And you said file a mandamus, which is force the government to make a decision.
Yes.
In this particular case, are you also filing a mandamus?
Correct. Yes.
It is the same exact thing.
It's the same suit. It's the same suit, but there has an additional claim to it, which is an APA claim, which is Administrative Procedures Act. So that Administrative Procedures Act is a federal statute that mandates all agencies, not just USCIS, but all agencies to follow their regulations and procedures.
So let's start with mandamus, because when you file a lawsuit against the government, a mandamus says it's a federal judge saying to the Immigration Service, make a decision, thumbs up, thumbs down on this case.
Correct.
Okay.
It's specifically, it's exactly that, but specifically a mandamus is an act, and the act is an order from a superior court to an inferior court or agency here, mandating them to fulfill their legal duty specifically.
Right. Okay, now the APA claim, so you're saying in a mandamus, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yes.
Okay, that's layman's terms.
Yes, right.
Okay, and in the APA claim, which is the Administrative Procedures Act, you say you got to follow your own rules. You can't make up rules and then not follow them.
Yes.
Okay. What do you say to somebody, because this is what's on everybody's minds, it's great, my case is pending a long time, let's go sue the government. And they say, what are you, out of your mind? I'm not going to go sue the government. They're going to come and deport me. They're going to come and arrest me. Or they're going to screw my case over. What do you say about that?
Actually, what happens more is instead of them being mad at you, it's them putting them on the hot seat and forcing them to properly adjudicate your
application. Because in essence, they now know that you have an attorney that will have a federal judge review everything they do.
Yes.
Including delaying your case.
Yes.
And if they screw with you again, they know they're going back into federal court again.
Correct.
Because they've screwed your case a second time and a third time.
Right.
So as a matter of fact, my answer to most people is it's the opposite.
Right.
Okay? If you go sue the government, they're not going to screw you over.
Yes.
They're going to do everything by the book.
Yes.
They're not going to make one mistake because they know they're going to get their asses dragged right back into court again.
Yep.
And they don't want that.
No.
Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. All right, before we get into social media, I do have to remind everybody that if you are part of the Brad Squad and you follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein, I know who you are. I will eventually get to answering your questions. I may not do it immediately. I'm not that fast anymore because I'm getting inundated with questions, but I will certainly answer your questions. Just follow me on Instagram because that's usually where I will see your DMs, and that's at Real Brad Bernstein. You could also follow us on Instagram at Brad Show Live and see the best of our clips from all of our prior shows, as well as a little behind the scenes. And Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias, who never goes on Instagram.
Nope.
Maybe he looks at it once every 4 or 5 years. But on those few times that you may actually look at Instagram, where would anybody follow you?
Find me at Yonathan Elias TV.
The man is addicted to Instagram.
We have some interesting things in my...
Yeah, actually, I read an article that they're considering changing Instagram's name to Yo-Yo-gram.
Right.
It's going to be that because you're on it so much. You are the #1 Instagram person, and now calling it Yo-Yo-gram.
Guru.
Yes. All right. So let's do something we like to call social media check-in, where we try to answer some more social media questions.
All right. Jesu Damiola saying, hey, I went on my green card interview with my U.S. citizen husband in June, but I haven't gotten any reply from USCIS. What do you think is going on? It's been 5 months.
I don't know, but you should have watched the last 3 minutes with me and Abadir and file a mandamus.
Shelly Benson saying, how long does it take for USCIS to approve an I-130 that was filed in July 2019?
It should be less than 12 months. If it's more than 12 months, see my answer to my last question.
All right. Robert saying, how can I prove to an interview officer that my police clearance is unobtainable in China due to loss of passport a few weeks to my exit of, or within a few weeks to my exit of China?
I don't know what it takes to get a police clearance in China. There's availability of documents everywhere. So you have to be able to prove that document's unavailable according to the Foreign Affairs Manual, or if it is available, that you followed the instructions and got something official back saying it's unavailable for XYZ.
Okay. Vijaya saying, how many days before we can apply for EAD renewal? Is it 180 or 90 days?
Do it 120 days beforehand, and then you get 180 days after.
Okay, Medu saying, my EAD and I-485 was submitted. I'm converting it to VAWA. How many months will it take for my EAD card to arrive?
3 to 6 months.
Okay, and Miss Conscious saying, my case was filed on October 8th. How long does it normally take to get it approved from USCIS?
What was your case?
Nadine.
How would I know? I filed some papers. How long till they stamp it? I don't know.
Sorry.
I don't know.
Nadine, my cousin did her VAWA case and it's approved from May and she still hasn't received her work permit as of yet.
How do you know it was approved? What was approved? If it was approved, if her VAWA case was approved, she should have a green card, right?
Yeah, but
right?
She says she hasn't received her work permit yet.
Why should she have a green card if it was approved?
So say they didn't receive the green card yet. Maybe that's what they meant. Because she said
Call
her
the mailman. I don't know. You're asking me why something. By the way, the last 3 questions were so vague. It's absolutely impossible to answer them.
All right.
You need to give me a little more information to go on. Other than that, this magic 8 ball is coming out every question.
There you go.
I don't want to pull it out every question.
All right. Miyazi saying, am I qualified to apply for an EAD? I filed an asylum, went for an interview, but was sent to court. 157 days has gone now.
Yes, apply.
Yuli saying, why a DWI in New York is a crime of moral turpitude?
Why? Because you have a bad mind. Moral turpitude means you have a bad mind. So somewhere written in that law, I don't know what the actual wordage is, shows that you intentionally or with knowledge or with something in your head knew what you were doing and it was wrong. And it shows that you're a person of bad morals.
Right. All right, Nico Suave saying, how do I change my child's birthday on the N400 if I made a mistake on the I-751? Is it advisable to apply for naturalization online compared to by mail?
Either one works, and any mistakes you could always fix at the interview.
Okay, Jan Pereira saying, hey guys, great show. I received my EAD combo card. I went to travel, but I'm a little nervous because I overstayed my visa almost 2 decades ago.
Don't worry about it.
D. Forbes saying, is it best to file for I-130 and I-485 at the same time?
Yes.
All right, Ben Londa saying, how long does it take to get a work authorization after having done your biometrics for adjustment of status?
It should be 3 to 6 months from the time you file.
Simone Brown saying, how long is it taking now to get a work permit after doing biometrics? I filed in August, did my biometrics September 20th.
September, October, November, December, January. You should get it by February.
Olowaro Timi saying my friend's son put in an application for an I-130, but the son passed away. What can she do now?
You can have a family member substitute in.
All right, and our last one right now is Daisy Martinez saying, hey Brad, is it safe to travel on an advanced parole? I filed my AOS through VAWA. If I got arrested 2 years ago on a false statement of my abuse ex-husband, the case was dismissed. I was found not guilty.
Travel, but bring the disposition to show the not guilty if you're ever asked at the interview, but it's okay to travel.
There you go.
Meanwhile, it says here, Diwali is the Indian Festival of Lights. I don't know if it's like Hanukkah, which is the Jewish Festival of Lights.
What does that do? I think it is for good luck. And
Diwali, it's the Indian Festival of Lights. But you know what they taught me in law school? If you don't know the answer, keep reading.
There you go.
So let me keep reading.
There you go.
It's a holiday that celebrates the triumph of good over evil. So there you have it, Yonathan. Diwali 2019 was celebrated on October 27th, also the 15th day of the month of Kartika in the Hindu calendar. Yonathan, this man next to me, he attended the Diwali celebration at Brooklyn Borough Hall, where attendees focused on the victory of light over darkness by dedicating this year's event to the migrant families who have been separated at the U.S. southern border. Let's watch.
What's up, Brad Squad? This is Yonathan Elias, and I'm here at the 3rd annual Diwali celebration at Brooklyn Borough Hall. Now, Diwali celebration is a Hindu festival of lights symbolizing the spiritual victory of light over darkness, good over evil, and knowledge over ignorance. Now, this year, the Diwali celebration is going to be devoted to the families that have been separated by Trump's administration at the southern borders. This is going to be a very important celebration, and we're going to talk to some of the attendees to see what Diwali means to them and what you as a viewer can take as a lesson. All right, let's check it out.
My name is Wadad Hassan, and I'm the lead advisor for Muslim, Arab, South Asian communities at the New York City Commission on Human Rights. And we're a city agency that enforces one of the strongest anti-discrimination laws in the country.
Awesome. So can you please tell us about the event today and why your organization actually partners up with this event?
Sure. So today we have the 2nd annual Diwali celebration at Brooklyn Borough Hall, and actually the 3rd annual Diwali celebration in Brooklyn. As you know, the theme tonight is ending family separation, and you know, this is something that's on the minds of so many New Yorkers, and we wanted to focus on this tonight because we want people to leave knowing that the city and our city agencies as well, the Commission on Human Rights, the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs, and the Mayor's Community Affairs Unit all stand with immigrants in New York City, and we have their backs, and we will continue to fight for them no matter what's coming out of the federal administration. So we want people to leave with that sense of hope and not feeling fearful or isolated or alone in this political climate where so many people are feeling under attack. So we were very proud to be a part of that, and we're excited to be here tonight to celebrate the diversity in New York City and Diwali as well. Like many of our heritage events, we want people to come to these events and learn more about the experiences of other communities, to celebrate the diversity in New York City, and celebratory events like this are a great space to do that. So I would definitely encourage folks to visit our website, the New York City Commission on Human Rights.
There's an estimated of 4,000 children that have been separated from their families, and many not reunited with their families. What's a message that you would like to give to any of the family members if they were watching?
I mean, that's really hard because, you know, I think being separated from a loved one is something unimaginable, and no one wants to ever go through that. But what I would say is that, you know, in New York City, we fight for them. We stand with those families, and we're, you know, fiercely defending people here living in New York City, like letting them know that, like, no matter what your immigration status is or your country of origin, what's happening on the federal level is not acceptable, and we will continue to fight that, sending a message to the country that, you know, things like this, family separation, discrimination, and basically racism is what we're seeing at the border is unacceptable.
And what are some changes that you would love to see to the current immigration policies?
I think it's really important for us to approach our immigration policies with a more humane and compassionate lens. I think we're at this point where people are being dehumanized. Black and brown folks at the border are being dehumanized. And this is why I think we see that so many folks being separated at the border. And if we, come at this with more humane and compassionate approach, that, I think that would help so many people and prevent things like this, atrocities that we're seeing now happening.
So I want to know, what is your immigration story?
I was born in Brooklyn. My family is from Yemen, and things like this that I'm seeing coming out of the federal administration it's very disheartening, because I think for many people, first generation or second generation immigrants, the thought always comes in your mind, what about how this can impact me, or this could have been me. So it's definitely very personal for me and so many people in New York City.
The type of music we were doing was called kirtan, and it's actually a form of Indian devotional music. Originally it was in temples only, and then 500 years ago, thanks to some revolutionaries, they brought it outside of the temple. They said, why should only one set of people be able to do this? Everyone should be able to do this. And so we do kirtan. The majority of who you saw performing with me are my family, are often at a temple nearby here in Brooklyn. It's called the Radha Govinda Temple. We're also on Instagram and Facebook and many other places. There was an album that I was included on that was Grammy nominated. So I feel really fortunate and very, very proud to be a part of this entire celebration and to be a part of giving my music however I can.
My name is Bita Mostofi. I'm the Commissioner for the Mayor's Office of Immigrant.
You don't know what happened, but there we are. It didn't finish. I don't know what happened. That's called live television.
Live television.
We're gonna do it again another time. It just stopped.
That's fine.
I'm glad I was fully dressed.
Right.
Because
why wouldn't you be next to me?
I was changing, but the camera came back on me.
What were you changing into or out of?
I was changing in from my lawyer outfit to my non-lawyer outfit.
Oh, okay, got you.
My speed round outfit.
So you threw your lawyer outfit back on? Or?
Yes, exactly what I did.
All
right. I don't want anyone to think anything of us.
Yeah.
Now, our clothes were on the entire time. I don't want anyone thinking nothing. Nada.
All right.
We have a speed round to do?
We do. Let's do 15.
Minute and a half. Boy, you said that 15, and then you didn't know how long we were going to be doing it for. Minute and 30 seconds. Do you think it is possible that we could successfully answer 15 immigration questions, give 15 solid answers to 15 serious problems in 90 seconds?
I absolutely
do you think that's almost an impossible feat?
It's pretty close to being impossible.
Do you think it is an impossible feat? I think it's possible.
I know it's possible.
It's very possible.
We're that damn duo right now.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Let's do it.
Tanisha said, "What's up with Val? What's the latest on that?"
They're accepting the cases.
Shamar said, "How long does it take for NBC to send a welcome letter?"
Within weeks.
Lady Gaza saying, "How long does it take for your work permit to come?"
It's 3 to 6 months from filing the adjustment.
Max says, "How long does USCIS take to reply to a RFE after submission?"
It's supposed to be 120 days. After that, they're violating your rights.
Monica says, "A friend of mine married to a Avitra and
Aventura.
Okay, who is on food stamps and child support. Can he file for his wife?"
Yeah, but you better get off the food stamps and support, because you may be denied for affidavit of support.
Andrea is saying, "I've been waiting 1 year, 2 months for my interview date. I'm an American citizen applying for my husband. What should I do?"
File a mandamus.
Jakey saying, "Can you apply for financial aid after getting a green card?"
It depends what it is.
Andrea, okay. Diane says, "What happens if you didn't file taxes together with your husband?"
Then you don't have a bona fide marriage according to immigration.
What are we at?
9.
Oh, Drew saying, "Can a naturalized U.S. citizen get deported in circumstances?"
No.
Elizabeth saying, "If your husband withdrew for your case, I was changing for conditional to 10-year green card or 10-year card."
I don't even understand the question.
All right, Laddie saying, "I sent in my I-130, but my husband walked out on us. Can I continue with the process?"
No. Unless you're going to be abused. That's only
We're
12.
Done.
That's only 12.
Oh, D4 saying, "Is it best to file for both the I-130 and..."
Come on! You blew up the place. I'm getting under here.
I don't know why I
Excuse me.
thought we were doing 10. Sorry, guys. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Sorry, guys.
Yikes. You know what we're gonna do, Yonathan?
What's up?
When the thing blows up tomorrow.
No, when it's not going to blow up again.
Okay, if it ever blows up again, there's going to be under the desk an entire thing of powder. And I'm gonna come up from the desk like all white, you know.
Actually, it'd be pretty funny.
That'd be funny,
pretty
right?
funny.
Yeah.
Let's do it. But it will never blow up again. All right.
Can you imagine? Right, like I have like an Albert Einstein hair, you know, all singed and white.
Oh gosh.
All right, what are the other ones?
We're still doing them. Okay.
Yeah, we gotta answer them.
So Laddie said, I sent in my I-130, but my husband walked out on us. Can I continue with the process? You said yes.
You can't continue if your husband worked out unless you're going to file an abuse case.
Okay, Maunier is saying, is a trespassing warning can affect a holder of permanent resident green card, I-90, I-130, and 400 or travel?
Warning.
Okay, D. Forbes saying, is it best to file for both the I-130 and I-485?
Yes.
Robert saying, can one get a police clearance waiver because it's been obtainable in that country? I'm scheduled for an interview.
We talked about that one. We did all these already. All right, let's go to comments of the day. Yonathan, giving excuses while we blew up the...
I mean...
What's your excuse, Yo-Yo?
First of all, excuses are tools used for the incompetent.
Who told you that?
That's what I was learned or taught.
Yes, excuses are tools for the incompetent.
Yes.
Right, we don't have excuses.
Those who use them rarely, if ever, succeed.
I don't have any excuses.
But
That's correct.
I will say that there were a lot of double questions here that I was trying to get past. All right.
How did that happen?
Our first comment of the day comes from on Facebook saying, please remember to share and like Uncle Brad's show live. We're the best of the best immigration show and the best immigration lawyers in the state.
That's right, Lisa. We are the best. Me, Yo-Yo, the entire squad.
Yeah.
And the crew.
Yeah.
It's like a symbiotic relationship.
It is.
The show wouldn't work without everybody.
This is very true.
It's true.
This is very true.
Yeah.
All right, our second comes from Linda Shaw saying, yes, angels do live on earth. Uncle Brad is.
Oh, wow. Very nice. Very nice things this thing today.
Right. All right, number 3 comes on YouTube referring to the one caller, Tanya, that couldn't hear you, Brad. All right. Fox Racing said Brad is acting like an FBI agent talking in his microphone. You remember? He was like, can you hear me?
I don't know how else to, I can scream, do you understand the words coming out of my mouth now? But that's already been used in a movie.
That has. So you have to make your own.
I have to make my own thing, right?
All
That's already been used.
Our fourth one comes from Natalie Nichols on Facebook saying, Brad, you good on TV. A little boost of
Is anyone on
confidence.
TV who produces TV shows listening to Natalie? Wink, wink.
Okay.
I hope.
I hope so, too.
And you know what? By the way, something. Go back to Yonathan. Yonathan, you look very good on TV, too.
Oh, man,
I'm going to tell you something. You are a handsome, handsome man on television.
Well,
I like you on TV. We need a spin-off, man.
Let's do it.
It's Yo-Yo following Brad Show Live.
What would my show would be a mess.
Your show, it's Yo-Yo.
It would be like the happy hour show.
All of a sudden, Yonathan takes out tequila.
There you go.
All right, it's Yo-Yo. We're
Peace out,
drinking
Brad. What's up, squad? And our last comment for tonight comes from Carol Anderson, the Tiger, saying, you guys are so hilarious, funny, and so great together. Love you guys. And we love you too.
Thank you very much.
You.
I like to laugh a little bit. You're a funny guy.
You are too.
But what's so funny about us?
We're just natural. Yeah. Natural with it.
We like it. It's us. Actually, do we sit there and say, okay, let's try to be funny?
Absolutely not.
Right? This is just our personalities,
yes.
right?
Yes.
All right, everybody. Have a good night. Oh, wait. Programming note.
Oh, yeah.
Programming note. We will not going to be on tomorrow and Thursday. We will be back Friday. I'm going for a little mini procedure. Too much information.
Right.
TMI. but I'll be back alive and well on Friday.
Don't come looking like John Travolta tomorrow.
I won't be coming like John Travolta.
We don't know what kind of procedure you're talking about.
No, it's a little. No plastic surgery. Just preventative situation.
We all got to do
But
it.
no plastic surgery or anything. So we'll be back on Friday live. Have a good 2 days, but we'll be back live Friday. See you then. So Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein Law Firm, located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.